In this lesson, we're going to look at recursion. Recursion is the idea when a method calls itself. Now, recursion in computer science is a method where the solution to a problem depends on solutions to smaller instances of the same problem, as opposed to iteration. Now, while recursion can be used to be iterative like loops, that's not the intention. And recursion will be infinite without the base case. The base case defines what will make the recursion stop and return to the previous method that called it. Now, we're going to create a variable x set equal to 6, and we're going to do a recursive example. Now, even though recursion is not intended to be iterative, this first example, for simplicity, will be iterative. All right, so I'm going to print out the sum of the factors. The sum of the factors is x comma x minus 1. All right. So the sum of the factors 2. This recursive method will find the sum of all the factors of num. So num is an int, and it's looking for the factors. Max, this is an int, and it will be smaller than num. That's why I sent it x and x minus 1. This will return an int that is the sum of all the factors of num. So here, if I'm doing 6, the sum of the factors of 6 will be 3, 2, and 1. So it'll be 6. 6, 5 is not a factor, and 4 is not a factor. So they're not involved in the equation. Only 3 is a factor of 6, 2 is a factor of 6, and 1 is a factor of 6. So the sum of those factors is 6. All right, so let's look at this method. Public static int sum factors 2, our num, and our max. Remember that's 6, that's 5. So I create a variable called sub. If max is equal to 0, I return 0, because 0, we're not doing 0 as a factor, so that's not a possibility. Else, I'm going to set sub equal to sum factors of num max minus 1. So I'm sending it, num never changes, so in this case num is still 6. First time through, max is 5, so I'm sending it 6 comma 4. Now if num modulo max equals 0, in other words, num is divisible by max, I found a factor of num, so I increase sub by max. And eventually I return the sub. So there we go. So like I said, it's going to find 3, 2, 1. So let's see if this is going to work like we think it is. So let's compile it, and let's run it. And there it is. Sum of factors of 6 is 6. Let's try another example. Let's find the sum of the factors of 8. Well, those factors of 8 are 4, 2, and 1. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. So 8, the smaller one's got to be smaller than that, so it's 7. And there we go. The sum of the factors is 7. And that is the end of this lesson.